and welcome to Module 6, Play-Based and Artistic Expression for Multicultural Classrooms. My name is Katharina and I am here for Berlin Cosmopolitan School. Dear participants, welcome. A warm and heartfelt welcome to Module 6, Play-Based and Artistic Expression for Multicultural Classrooms. We are really delighted to have you with us on this journey into the creative heart of teaching. In classrooms filled with many languages, cultures, and life experiences, play and the arts offer something deeply human and universal, a way to connect, to express, to belong. Whether it is through a shared story, a painting, a rhythm, or a movement of laughter during play, these moments are bridges between worlds. This model is more than a training, it's an invitation to see the child not only as a learner, but as a storyteller, a mover, a maker, a dreamer. It is a space where your own creativity is just as important as your professional knowledge. Together, we will explore how imaginative and culturally sensitive teaching can transform our classrooms into safe, vibrant communities of learning. Thank you for bringing your curiosity, your care, and your commitment. We look forward to working, learning, sharing, and creating alongside you. This is the whole Module 6 team from Partner 7, Berlin Cosmopolitan School. Unit 6.1 is about the power of play, understanding developmental and cultural dimensions. As Albert Einstein said, play is the highest form of research. So, definitions and types of play. Play takes many forms, and understanding its types helps educators create balanced, inclusive learning environments. Free play is the child-led, spontaneous, and imaginative. It's fostering autonomy and social negotiations. Then we have guided play. This involves gentle adult scaffolding whilst allowing the child to have agency, ideal for targeted learning goals. We also have symbolic play, also known as pretend play. This includes the usage of objects or actions to represent something else, supporting abstract thinking. And we have socio-dramatic play. Expands this into group narratives where children take on roles and co-create stories. This is vital for perspective taken and collaboration. One practical example is in a multilingual class, you can provide dress-up clothes, culturally diverse cooking sets, and multilingual signage in a dramatic play corner. You can observe how the children create narratives using both spoken language and gestures. The question is, how do I make space for both free and structured play in a way that honors each child's language and cultural background? So, Fred Donaldson said, children learn as they play. Most importantly, in play, children learn how to learn. Let that sink in. The role of play in child development. It's cognitive, social, emotional, and language. Play is not just recreation, it is central to development. Cognitively, it promotes problem solving and symbolic reasoning. Socially, it builds negotiation skills and empathy. Emotionally, it allows for the rehearsal and release of feelings in a safe space. And last but not least, linguistically, it's a rich context for vocabulary, storytelling, and multilingual language transfer. A practical example. During outdoor play, set up as forest cafe in your role play area Encourage the children to create menus in their home language and their language of instruction. Children spontaneously count, negotiate roles, and use language creatively. The question is, how can I ensure the children's play environments provide opportunities for cognitive and language growth in all of their languages? Culture is not a costume to be tried on. It is the lens through which a child sees the world. Cultural variations in play practices and expectations. Children's play is shaped by their cultural background. Some cultures value cooperative or over competitive play. Some emphasize imaginative over physical play. Certain types of pretend play may feel unfamiliar or even inappropriate in some contexts. Educators must remain open, avoid assumptions, and observe before guiding. Practical example. A Turkish child may be more comfortable engaging in parallel play than direct interaction. Offer culturally familiar toys and observe how the child initiates play. Invite the child's family to share traditional games or stories with the class. Question is, how do I recognize and honor different cultural expressions of play without interpreting them through a deficit lens? Every child has the right to rest and leisure, to engage in play and recreational activities. This is the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 31. Play is a right, it's not a privilege, for all children, including those with migrant backgrounds, disabilities, or limited language. Schools must actively protect time, space, and material for meaningful play. This is especially urgent in systems where academic pressure often displaces imaginative activities. An example, you can designate protected daily playtime, even in upper primary. In a multilingual setting, create language-neutral play zones where communication happens through drawing, building, and movement. Question: do I treat play as essential to a child's well-being and development, or as an optional extra? Stand aside for a while and leave room for learning. Observe carefully what children do, and then, if you have understood well, teaching will be different. Loris Malaguzzi. The educator's role as observer, facilitator, and cultural mediator in play-based learning. Educators are not passive bystanders in play. They are observers, facilitators, and cultural mediators. By tuning in, they learn what children care about and how they think. By guiding gently, they introduce new ideas, vocabulary, and perspectives. In multilingual classrooms, the adult's role includes creating bridges across languages and helping children understand each other through multimodal expressions. Example: join a group of children building a city from recycled materials. Introduce multilingual signs like hospital, Krankenhaus, and ask gentle, open-ended questions that spark narrative play across languages. The question is, how do I listen to children's play, not just with my ears, but with my full attention, and know when to step in or step back? Now we are here, Unit 2, in Module 6, Arts Across Cultures. using visual art, music, and movement in the classroom. Stand aside for a while and leave room for learning. Observe carefully what children do. And then, if you have understood well, teaching will be different. We repeat it because it's so important. Loris Malaguzzi. The arts engage the whole child, body, mind, and heart. In holistic education, artistic processes help children make sense of their world, regulate emotions, and connect socially, especially when words are not yet available. Through drawing, singing, or dramatic play, children access a safe language of expression that often precedes verbal communication. Example: a child new to the classroom and still learning the school language paints a picture of their home. Without needing words, they share their identity and invite connection. The teacher displays the work and invites others to share their home stories through pictures. Question: how can I use artistic expression in my classroom to understand what multilingual children are feeling long before they are able to explain it in words? Cultural responsiveness is seeing the child in front of you and honoring the story they carry. It's paraphrased from Geneva Gay. Culturally responsive art integration, visual arts, music, dance, and movement. Culturally responsive arts integration means embedding the visual, musical, and movement-based tradition of your learners into the daily rhythm of the classroom, not as decoration, but as pedagogy. This helps children feel seen and proud while expanding the cultural horizon of the group. Example: each Friday, the class chooses a song, dance, or art form for a child's home culture to explore, such as learning a simple body percussion pattern from Ghana or painting in the style of Turkish Hebrew art. A child's family is invited to co-lead the session when possible. Question: whose culture is most visible in my current arts activities? And how can I broaden my practice to better reflect the identities in my room? Again, Loris Malaguzzi. Children's first language are movement, image, and sound. Multimodal communication and multilingual learning through the arts. Before they speak fluently in any language, children express themselves through gestures, drawing, rhythms, and symbols. The arts offer multiple modes through which all children, especially multilingual learners, can understand and contribute to learning. When these modes are intentionally used in teaching, children can participate fully even before they have the vocabulary. Example: during a unit on emotions, children create feeling masks using colors and shapes. They then role-play how those feelings might sound or move in different situations. The activity allows children with emerging language skills to express complex emotional states without needing full sentences. Question: In what ways could my lessons invite children to speak through more than just words? Thomas Merton. Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time. So, case examples of inclusive art projects. Inclusive art projects provide collective moments of meaning making, especially when they allow children to contribute at their own level. These projects are most powerful when they value process over product and identity over aesthetics. Practical example: a collaborative classroom mural titled "The Places We Come From" invites each child to paint a symbol or color that represents their origin story. Some children include flags or houses, others draw animals or food. Language is secondary to story, and all are celebrated. How might a collaborative art project become a map of the identity in my classroom? Adapted from Bessel van der Kolk. When words are too heavy, art lets us breathe. So, techniques for supporting expression in children with limited language or trauma histories. For children with limited language due to migration, trauma, or developmental delay, the arts offer a pathway to voice and agency. Nonverbal storytelling, symbolic drawing, or rhythm based activities can support emotional regulation and reduce barriers to connect. Example: in a quiet storytelling corner, a child with selective mutism uses stick puppets and a felt board to enact a story about a journey. The teacher narrates gently in both the school language and the child's home language, maybe with the help of a translated script, validating their words without pressure to speak. Question: what nonverbal tools do I need to provide to help children tell their stories when they cannot yet do so with words? Next unit. 6.3: Storytelling, Drama and Roleplay for Inclusion and Expression. Stories are the communal currency of humanity. Tahir Shah. Storytelling as a cultural and educational tool. Storytelling is one of the oldest tools for teaching, connecting, and healing. In early childhood education, it offers more than entertainment. It helps children organize experiences, develop narrative language, and strengthen their cultural identity. For multilingual learners, stories create a bridge between the home language and the language of schooling, fostering vocabulary growth, listening skills, and emotional security. Example: during morning circle, the teacher invites children to contribute to a co-created story using characters from their own cultures. For example, a Polish forest spirit, a Nigerian tortoise, a Turkish carpet that flies. Each child offers a plot twist or image in their strongest language, with the teacher gently revoices in the classroom language, validating all contributions. How do I create space for stories that reflect the home cultures of my learners, not just the curriculum themes I planned? If you want to understand the people, listen to their stories. Shimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Oral traditions and narratives from diverse communities. Oral traditions hold the values, rhythms, and worldviews of entire communities. Incorporating them into classroom practice affirms children's cultural roots and offers model of symbolic, rhythmic, and layered language. This supports comprehension, recall, and critical thinking for young multilinguals. Example: Each week, a family story basket is sent home with a child. Families are invited to share a folk tale or life story using voice, song, or drawing. The child returns and becomes the story guide, helping the teachers retell the narrative with props or visual aids. Question: do I offer opportunities for families to be co storytellers in our classrooms? And what messages does this send about whose knowledge counts? Philip Pullman. Children need art and stories and poems and music as much as they need love and food and fresh air and play. Techniques for inclusive storytelling: puppetry, picture stories, drama circles. Inclusive storytelling uses multi-sensory methods like puppetry, image sequencing, and dramatic play to support participation from children with varying language levels, processing speeds, or social emotional needs. These methods reduce pressure on verbal output while still nurturing language input and emotional expression. Example: in a drama circle, the teacher uses felt puppets to retell a Kurdish story. Children choose a puppet and add a sound, gesture, or movement to retell the story in their own way. Nonverbal children contribute by choosing props or expressing mood through music or drawing. Question: do I offer multiple ways for children to engage with stories beyond listening and speaking? Maria Montessori. Play is the work of the child. Role play and improvisation as tools for language learning and empathy building. Improvised role play enables children to step into another's perspective, rehearse social language, and develop vocabulary in context. For multilingual learners, it offers embedded language use, less scripted, more real. Dramatic play also cultivates empathy as children take on roles of helpers, problem solvers, and community members. Practical example: after reading a story about a refugee child, the class sets up a welcome center. Children role play as newcomers, helpers, translators, or family members. Labels are bilingual. Scripts are co-created. This creates rich, spontaneous language use rooted in real-life experiences. Question: how do I structure dramatic play so that it builds both language and compassion? Meryl Streep. Acting is not about being someone different, it's finding the similarity in what is apparently different, then finding myself in there. Creating safe and respectful spaces for emotional expression through drama. Drama is a powerful medium for processing complex emotions: fear, loneliness, hope, pride. In multilingual classrooms, dramatic expression helps children show what they feel before they can say it. By creating emotionally safe and respectful drama spaces, educators empower children to express identity and heal through symbolic play. Practical example: the teacher offers a feeling forest corner where children act out different emotional states using masks, fabrics, and mute music. Afterwards, they draw or tell short stories about their characters. The teacher models emotional vocabulary and validates all expressions. Question is, do I give my learners safe, creative ways to express difficult feelings, even when they do not yet have the words? Unit 4. Designing culturally responsive play-based environments. Again, Loris Malaguzzi. The environment should act as an aquarium which reflects the ideas, ethics, attitudes, and culture of the people who live in it. Sorry. Principles of inclusive classroom design for creativity and belonging. A truly inclusive classroom is designed not only for learning, but for belonging. When children see elements of their culture, language, and identity reflected in the space, they are more likely to participate with confidence. Design choices such as flexible seating, language-rich corners, and displays that evolve with each children's contributions foster co-ownership and creativity. Practical example. Create a welcome wall where each child's names appear in their home language alongside self-portraits and greetings collected with families. Question. How does the physical space in my classroom tell children, you belong here? Have I involved children in the shaping what goes on the walls and shelves? Susan Stacy. When children are given materials with no script, their imagination writes the story. Open-ended materials and environments that reflect diverse cultural identities. Open-ended materials, natural objects, textiles, recycled items, art tools allow children to explore and express themselves without predefined outcomes. To support cultural expression, these materials should reflect diverse textures, colors, and uses found in multiple cultures. Example. Include fabric offcuts from different world regions in your art area. African wax prints, Turkish lace, Guatemala woven stripes, and invite children to create identity collages while talking about what textures feel familiar. Question. Do the materials I offer allow all children to see their world and imagine beyond it? Have I asked families what everyday materials are meaningful at home? Nothing about me without me. This is the Disability Rights Movement slogan. Co-creation and participatory classroom practices. Inclusive classrooms center the child's voice. Co-creation means that children help shape routines, projects, and the curriculum itself. This participatory approach not only supports agency, but also honors multiple languages and ways of knowing, especially for children who may not yet speak the dominant classroom language fluently. Practical example. Invite children to co-design a classroom job chart using drawings and multilingual labels. Ask them to vote on roles and nominate friends for tasks. Question. In what ways do I involve children in shaping the classroom experience? Am I listening closely to children who express themselves through movement, gestures, or drawing rather than words? From Ella Knost. Children's behavior is a language. Are we listening? Sensory-friendly and trauma-informed consideration. In multilingual and migrant contexts, some children may carry sensory sensitivities or trauma-related responses that are not immediately visible. Design calm, responsive environments supports regulation and trust. Sensory-friendly zones, visual routines, and soft lighting reduce overwhelm and support all learners, especially those who are neurodivergent or newly arrived. Practical example: create a quiet tent with soft pillows, low lighting, books in different languages, and calming sensory objects like fabric swatches, small stones, or soft brushes. Question: how does my classroom offer children safety, not just physically, but emotionally and sensorily? What signals might I be missing when a child withdraws, stares into space, or suddenly acts out? An adapted African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a classroom to welcome the village. Family and community involvement in the artistic and play based curriculum. Children thrive when there is continuity between home and school. Involving families in artistic and play based activities affirms cultural identities and helps children feel rooted. This is especially vital for multilingual learners who may speak a minority language or have experienced displacement. Example: invite parents or caregivers to contribute a lullaby, dance, or art technique from their home culture to be shared with the class, either in person or via video or audio. Question: how do I invite families to co create the learning journey, not just observe it? What small change could I make to shift from family involvement to family inclusion? Conclusion: key concepts and tips. Art and play are universal but expressed differently across cultures. Avoid tokenism, go beyond International Day, and embed diverse practices daily. Observe and listen. Children express themselves differently through visual, physical, or symbolic languages. Include families. Invite artistic and play based contributions from home cultures. Use arts and play to scaffold multilingual learning, especially for children with limited verbal communication. This module has demonstrated how play and the arts are not merely activities for free time, but central pedagogical tools for building community, supporting multilingual learners, and nurturing creativity in multicultural classrooms. Through a combination of theoretical grounding, real life examples, and reflective practice, educators are empowered to design inclusive, expressive environments where every child can feel seen, heard, and valued. Here you can find the references if you're more interested in the research. I wish you all the best and enjoy your multilingual, multicultural classroom with lots of play. See you soon. Bye bye.